Have you ever wondered what life was really like behind the cameras in one of America's most famous reality TV families? For years, viewers watched the Brown family smile through celebrations, family meetings, and emotional moments. But according to Maddie Brown Brush, what audiences saw on television wasn't always the full story. Now, Maddie is opening up in one of her most personal conversations yet, describing a childhood she says often felt chaotic and unstable. Her words have reignited debate among Sister Wives fans, raising new questions about the lasting impact of growing up in such a large plural family. So, what exactly did Maddie reveal? And why are so many viewers saying her comments completely changed the way they see the Brown family? Stay with us because this story becomes even more revealing as we go. For more than a decade, Sister Wives introduced millions of viewers to Kody Brown, his 4 wives, and their many children. The series presented a family trying to balance love, faith, and everyday life while living in a unique plural marriage. From moving across multiple states to welcoming new children and navigating relationship struggles, audiences watched countless family milestones unfold on camera. But reality television only captures selected moments. Episodes are edited, stories are condensed, and cameras eventually stop rolling. Like many long-running reality shows, there has always been curiosity about what daily life looked like when filming ended. As the Brown children have grown into adults, many have begun sharing their own perspectives. Their experiences haven't always matched the polished image viewers remember from earlier seasons. And now, Maddie Brown Brush has added another important voice, Unlike dramatic accusations or sensational headlines, these recent comments focus on something much more personal, how growing up in such a large family affected her emotionally and how those experiences continue to shape and today. Her reflections aren't simply about the past. They're also about creating a different future for her own children. That difference is exactly what has captured fans' attention. As more details from Maddie's recent interview began circulating, fans quickly realized that this wasn't another headline designed to create controversy. Instead, it was a thoughtful reflection on how growing up in such an unusual family environment shaped her life in ways she didn't fully understand until adulthood. One word in particular caught everyone's attention: chaotic. That's how Maddie described much of her childhood. For longtime Sister Wives viewers, hearing that word carried a lot of weight. For years, audiences watched birthday celebrations, family vacations, holiday gatherings, and large group meetings that often looked joyful and united. While disagreements occasionally surfaced, the show frequently emphasized togetherness and family values. But according to Maddie, living inside that environment often felt very different from how it appeared on television. She explained that moving frequently, adjusting to constant changes, balancing relationships within such a large family, and adapting to shifting household dynamics created an atmosphere that wasn't always predictable or emotionally stable. Rather than focusing on one specific event or blaming a single person, Maddie's comments centered on the overall experience of growing up in a family where change seemed to happen all the time. For many viewers, that perspective made perfect sense. Over the years, fans watched the Browns relocate multiple times, from Utah to Las Vegas and later to Flagstaff. Every move meant leaving behind friends, changing schools, building new routines, and starting over. For adults, those decisions may have represented fresh opportunity. For children, however, they often meant uncertainty. And that's something many fans believe wasn't fully explored during the series. Growing up is challenging enough under ordinary circumstances. Adding frequent moves, public attention, and the complexities of a very large family could naturally make life feel overwhelming at times. Maddie didn't frame her experience as one defined entirely by negativity. Instead, she reflected on how those early years influenced the kind of That distinction is important. Rather than dwelling on resentment, she spoke about learning from her past. She shared that becoming a parent herself has changed the way she views childhood. Looking at life through her own children's eyes has given her a new appreciation for consistency, emotional security, and creating a calm home environment. In many ways, her comments weren't just about revisiting old memories. They were about breaking patterns. Maddie explained that she wants her children to grow up with the kind of stability she sometimes felt was missing during her own childhood. That message resonated with thousands of parents online. Across social media, many fans praised her honesty, saying that becoming a parent often changes how people understand their own upbringing. Some viewers even admitted that they had begun rewatching older Sister Wives episodes with a completely different perspective after hearing Maddie's reflections. Scenes that once looked like harmless family chaos now seemed more emotionally complicated. Others pointed out that reality television can never fully capture what life feels like behind closed doors. A few minutes of edited footage simply can't show every challenge, every difficult conversation, or every emotion experienced by the people living it. That's why comments from the Brown children themselves have become increasingly valuable to longtime fans. Each interview adds another piece to a story viewers have been following for well over a decade. And while Maddie's words weren't filled with shocking accusations, they offered something many people consider even more meaningful: an honest reflection from someone who actually lived that experience. As fans continued discussing her interview, another question quickly emerged. If Maddie now sees her childhood differently, what does that say about the parenting style viewers watched from Kody Brown throughout the series? That question has sparked one of the biggest debates in the Sister Wives community, and it's exactly where the story takes another emotional turn. As Maddie's reflections continued making headlines, many longtime Sister Wives viewers found themselves asking an even bigger question: what do her comments reveal about Kody Brown's role as a father? For years, Kody was presented as the center of the Brown family, a father trying to balance relationships with 4 wives and raising 18 children. On screen, he often spoke about the importance of family unity and maintaining strong connections with each of his kids. But as the years went on, viewers also witnessed growing tension within the family. Especially during the later seasons, several of Kody's adult children openly disagreed with him. Disputes over communication, family expectations, and the COVID-19 rules became major storylines. Those conflicts led many fans to question whether the emotional distance developing within the family had deeper roots than the show initially revealed. Maddie's recent comments haven't directly accused Kody of causing the instability she described. Instead, they have encouraged fans to look back at the family's history through a different lens. Many viewers now wonder whether raising such a large family made it difficult for every child to receive the individual time and attention they needed. It's a question that has sparked thousands of discussions online. Some fans argue that Kody genuinely tried to support all of his children despite the unique challenges of plural marriage. Others believe that the structure of such a large household naturally made it impossible for every child to feel equally seen and heard. Whatever side viewers take, one thing is clear: Maddie's reflections have reignited conversations that have been building for years. Many fans also point out that becoming a parent often changes how people interpret their own childhood experiences. What once seemed normal can look very different after raising children of your own. That's exactly what many believe Maddie was describing. Instead of focusing on assigning blame, she emphasized how those experiences influence the type of home she now wants to create for her own family. That message has resonated with many parents, regardless of whether they have ever watched Sister Wives. Across social media, viewers shared stories of realizing as adults that some parts of their childhood felt more stressful than they recognized at the time. For many, Maddie's interview became less about reality television and more about personal growth. Still, that hasn't stopped fans from revisiting old episodes. Clips from earlier seasons have resurfaced online, with viewers pointing to moments where the family's hectic schedule, constant moves, and changing dynamics appeared more overwhelming than they initially seemed. Some fans say those moments now carry a different emotional weight after hearing Meri's perspective. Others caution against judging an entire family's history based on edited television footage or a single interview. Both viewpoints continue fueling passionate discussions throughout the Sister Wives community. Meanwhile, another topic has quietly gained momentum. Many fans have noticed that several of the Brown children have chosen paths that look very different from the lifestyle they grew up in. Most have built independent lives away from plural marriage, focusing instead on careers, marriages, and raising their own families. For some viewers, it suggests that the next generation is defining success on their own terms, even if those choices differ from the traditions they were raised with. And perhaps that's one of the biggest takeaways from Maddie's story. Her interview isn't simply about looking backward, it's about moving forward. It's about taking the lessons, both good and difficult, from childhood and using them to build something different for the next generation. But as emotional as Maddie's story has been, another member of the Brown family has also been making headlines recently, and that update is adding an entirely new layer to the ongoing conversation surrounding the Browns. While Maddie's reflections have sparked heartfelt conversations among fans, they've also highlighted just how much the Brown family has changed since the early days of Sister Wives. The family viewers first met is almost unrecognizable today, and many believe Maddie's interview is another reminder that the Browns have entered an entirely new years ago. The Brown family was built around one shared vision. Kody, Meri, Janelle, Christine, and later Robyn all worked to present the idea that plural marriage could succeed despite its challenges. Their homes were constantly filled with children, family gatherings, celebrations, and the belief that staying united was the ultimate goal. Today, that picture looks very different. Christine has moved on and built a new life with her husband, David Woolley. Janelle has focused on her independence and her children. Meri has embraced a fresh chapter centered on her personal growth and business ventures. Meanwhile, Kody and Robyn remain together, navigating life as a monogamous couple after the family's dramatic transformation. For longtime viewers, it's a remarkable shift from where the series began. As each member moves forward, the adult Brown children are becoming more comfortable showing their coming in more rather than speaking through the show's storylines. They're telling their stories in interviews, podcasts, and social media posts. That change has given fans a broader understanding of life inside one of reality television's most recognizable families. Maddie's comments are part of that larger trend. She didn't revisit her childhood to create drama or settle old scores. Instead, she reflected on how those experiences shaped the person and the mother she has become. Many fans appreciated that approach. Instead of pointing fingers, she focused on lessons learned. She emphasized the importance of creating a home where her own children feel safe, supported, and emotionally secure. For many viewers, that message felt honest and relatable, especially for parents who hope to improve upon aspects of their own upbringing. Online reactions have reflected that balance. Some fans praised Maddie for speaking thoughtfully about her past without turning it into a public feud. Others said her interview encouraged them to think differently about the pressures children can face in large families, particularly when those families are also living under the constant spotlight of reality television. At the same time, not everyone interpreted her comments the same way. Some viewers believe her words indirectly raise questions about decisions made by the adults during those years. Others feel it's important to remember that childhood experiences are deeply personal and different siblings may remember the same events in different ways. That's one reason the conversation has continued to grow. There isn't just one version of the Brown family's story. Each child experienced that household differently, and as more of them become adults, fans are hearing a wider range of perspectives than ever before. For Kody Brown, those changing narratives have become increasingly difficult to ignore. Over the past several seasons, viewers have watched his relationships with some of his adult children become strained. While every family experiences disagreements, seeing those tensions unfold publicly has led many fans to wonder whether healing is still possible. So far, there hasn't been a single moment that has repaired every fractured relationship. Instead, the Brown family appears to be moving forward on separate paths, each person finding their own version of happiness outside the structure that once defined them. And perhaps that's the biggest takeaway from Maddie's interview. Her story isn't just about a difficult childhood, it's about growth. It's about recognizing that the past can shape you without having to define your future. As fans continue discussing her emotional reflections, one thing has become clear. The conversation surrounding the Brown family is no longer only about It's about resilience, personal growth, and how children raised in extraordinary circumstances choose to build their own lives once the cameras stop rolling. But there's one final question that continues to divide the Sister Wives fan community. And in the final part, we'll explore why Maddie's words may have changed the way many viewers see the Brown family forever. As the discussion surrounding Maddie's interview continues, one thing has become increasingly clear. This wasn't just another reality TV headline. It became a moment that encouraged fans to reflect on the Brown family's journey from a completely different perspective. For years, Sister Wives focused on the adults, the marriages, the disagreements, and the challenges of maintaining a plural family. While the children were always part of the story, they often remained in the background as the cameras followed the lives of Kody and his wives. Now, those children are adults, and with adulthood comes the opportunity to tell their own stories. That's why so many viewers believe the most important chapters of the Brown family's history are only now beginning to emerge. Maddie's comments didn't rely on shocking accusations or dramatic revelations. Instead, they offered something much more powerful, an honest reflection on how childhood experiences can shape the future. She explained that becoming a mother herself has completely changed the way she looks at the past. Raising her own children has helped her understand the importance of consistency, emotional security, and creating a peaceful home where her family feels supported. For many parents watching, that message felt deeply relatable. After all, it's common for people to understand their own upbringing differently once they begin raising children themselves. That doesn't necessarily mean every memory is negative. It simply means that life experience often brings new understanding. Many fans praised Maddie for approaching the subject with maturity rather than anger. Instead of focusing on blame, she focused on growth, and that may be why her words resonated so strongly. Across social media, viewers shared their own experiences of growing up in large families, moving frequently, or living through constant change. Many said they recognized the emotional weight behind Maddie's description of childhood feeling chaotic, even if their circumstances were very different. Others reminded fellow fans that every sibling can experience the same household differently. One child may remember family life as exciting and adventurous. Another may remember it as stressful or unpredictable. Both experiences can be true at the same time. That perspective has helped keep the conversation balanced. While some viewers have been critical of Kody Brown's parenting over the years, others argue that raising such a large family came with extraordinary challenges that few people could fully understand. The truth is, only the Brown family knows everything that happened behind closed doors. What viewers see on television represents only a small portion of their daily life. That's why interviews like Maddie's add valuable context, but they don't tell the entire story on their own. As Sister Wives continues moving into new seasons, it's likely that fans will hear even more reflections from the Brown children as they build lives separate from the family structure that made them famous. Those stories may continue to reshape how audiences view the series, not because they're rewriting history, but because they're adding perspectives that viewers never had the chance to hear before. Whether fans agree with every opinion or not, most seem to appreciate hearing directly from the people who actually lived those experiences. And perhaps that's the biggest reason Maddie's interview has attracted so much attention. It's authentic, it's personal, and it reminds viewers that behind every reality TV episode are real families, real memories, and real emotions that continue long after the camera stop filming. As the Brown family enters another chapter, one thing is certain. The conversations surrounding Sister Wives are far from over. With each interview, each new season, and each family update, fans continue searching for a better understanding of what life inside the Brown household was truly like. What do you think about Maddie's reflections on her childhood? Do you believe her comments change the way viewers should see the Brown family, or do you think every family member naturally has a different perspective on the same experiences? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this update, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the latest Sister Wives news, updates, and behind-the-scenes stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.